All right, today we're going to talk about something really practical, a framework for managing your internal state, for finding that sense of calm and clarity in like milliseconds, no matter what's going on around you. So let's dive right in.
Let's start with a question that I think we've all asked ourselves at some point. Why do we let things get to us so easily? A frustrating email lands in your inbox, someone cuts you off in traffic, and boom, just like that, your inner peace is gone. Why does the outside world seem to have so much control over our inside world?
Well, the core idea we're going to explore today completely flips that on its head. It basically says that our suffering, our frustration, our anxiety, it doesn't actually come from the outside world. It's generated from within. I know, that might sound a little weird at first, so let's unpack what that really means.
Okay, Section 1, the real source of suffering.
So it turns out it's not the event itself that causes us pain. It's our own unmet expectation about that event. Think about it. You see someone, you expect them to act a certain way, and when they don't, you feel upset. The suffering didn't start with them, did it? Nope. It started with the expectation that you created in your own mind.
And this, right here, points to a whole new way forward. Because if the problem is internal, well, guess what? So is the solution. We can actually learn to manage this internal state. The source material gives us this really powerful two-method approach to do exactly that.
So, here they are, the WISE method and the POISE technique. Now, the easiest way to think about this is that WISE is your foundational training. It's the daily practice, it's how you build your mental muscle. POISE, on the other hand, is the advanced skill you use in the heat of the moment. One is like tending a garden, making sure the soil is healthy. The other is like navigating a sudden storm. You really need that healthy garden to handle the storm.
So, let's start there. Section 2, the foundation, the WISE method.
WISE is basically a framework for your daily self-reflection. Think of it like a debrief with yourself at the end of the day. So, W is for wake up to the reality that your thoughts are just thoughts. They come and go. I is to investigate the moments when your mind acted, a little foolishly and caused you suffering. From there, you learn to S, shift from that knee-jerk automatic reaction to a much more conscious response. And finally, E is to practice embodying your true, calm, peaceful self. This is the daily groundwork.
And there's this fantastic analogy for this whole practice. Your mind is like a garden. And all those negative thoughts, they're just weeds that pop up from old habits, old impressions. The WISE method is your daily practice of weeding that garden. Because if you don't, it gets overgrown, and it's almost impossible to find any peace in there.
Okay, so once we've tended our garden, we get to the really cool part. Section 3, the skill, the POISE method. Now, this is the tool for real-time emotional self-regulation. This is your in-the-moment technique. It's a 5-step process that you can use instantly. Whether you're in a tense meeting, a tough conversation, or you're just stuck in traffic and feeling that frustration build.
So, what are these 5 steps? How does it actually work in practice?
First up, P is for presence. This is all about breaking out of autopilot mode. You just stop for a second and notice what's actually happening. What thoughts are racing through your mind? What are you feeling in your body? The key here is no judgment. You're just observing.
Next is O for observer, and this step is absolutely crucial. It's about creating a little bit of distance. You see the thought, I'm so angry, and instead of becoming the anger, you just label it. You literally say to yourself, this is a thought, I am not the thought. You disidentify from it.
And that leads right into I for investigate. And this step is all about just witnessing. You've noticed the thought, you've detached from it, and now you just watch it pass by. You can imagine it like a cloud drifting across the sky, or a car on a highway, or a leaf floating down a river. You don't grab onto it, you don't fight it, you just let it go.
And when you do that, you get to step S for space. Now this one is a bit of a game changer. Space isn't something you have to create, it's something you just recognize is already there. It's that silent, calm, unchanging awareness behind all your thoughts. It's the sky behind the clouds. It's always there, you just have to notice it.
And finally, we have E for embody. This is where you go from being passive to being active. You've found that vast, peaceful space inside you.
Now you actively choose to cultivate that peace. You can superimpose a simple mantra onto that space, something like Om Shanti, which just means I am the peace. You become the creator of your own inner calm.
So let's bring this all together. Section 4, your big takeaway. You are the sky.
See, what this whole practice really does, at its core, is it shifts your very sense of identity. You stop identifying with the temporary weather patterns of your mind, the anger, the sadness, the frustration, and instead you start identifying with the vast, stable awareness in which all that weather just happens. And that brings this incredible sense of security and peace.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to this one single powerful idea. You are not the fleeting clouds passing through your mind. You are the vast open sky.
So the next time you feel that internal storm brewing, the choice is really yours. Are you going to be the cloud, totally swept up and tossed around by the emotion, or are you going to remember your true nature and be the sky?